Greetings everyone, and welcome to our Lean channel. In the previous video, we began discussing the new product introduction or NPI checklist. We examined the initial design stages, design procedures, the specification, project risk analysis, project FMEA, and feasibility study. If you missed that clip, the link is in the description below. Let's examine other categories needed for new product introduction documentation. The following elements are not necessarily in the order shown in the checklist. They will depend on your project plan, your company's documentation structure, and other factors. The next step is the project plan. Here we are one step ahead of the game. We already have this plan, as our design procedure, discussed in the previous video, is formatted as such a plan in the form of a Gantt chart. As the design project evolves, the plan may undergo numerous revisions to reflect changes. Do not forget to update it regularly. Statutory, regulatory, and other requirements. While these should be stated in the specification, we need to document how the organization complies with the applicable requirements at this time. This may be a list of regulations and relevant industry standards with the corresponding compliance procedures. The next section is the output. Our A351 video discussed this design stage. If you missed the clip, check the link below to catch up. In short, ISO 9000 standard fundamentals and vocabulary did not bother to provide us with any meaningful definition of the term output. It simply stated in clause 375 that output is a result of a process. Since this definition is inadequate, we explored other sources and found a better design output definition in the medical device industry. FDA quality system regulations define design output as a device, its packaging and labeling, and the device master record, which is all the information and specifications needed to make a product. So, let's stick with this definition. Design output is the product with its documentation. Returning to the output section in the checklist, we find the evidence needed for the design output. Product documentation, including drawings. A product FMEA. Evidence of verification if applicable. Prototype documentation. Instructions for use, IFU, and others. I have a couple of comments on this list. In the product FMEA, we must demonstrate that the risks associated with product performance and user safety are well understood and manageable. Verification. I marked this stage as NA just for an example. I justified the decision by referencing a specific design review. As discussed in our previous videos, design verification is not always possible, practical, or economical. If applicable, after the verification stage is completed, we may finalize our prototype with its documentation and instructions for use. Validation is typically documented in two stages: a validation protocol or specification and a validation report evidencing compliance of the design with the requirements for the specified application or intended use. Just like with verification, design validation is not always possible. You cannot validate a bridge design, a space shuttle, a skyscraper, etc. One can only verify such designs. After we complete the documentation of our design output, we are ready to perform the process FMEA. This is the third FMEA we are discussing in this video. We covered the design project risk assessment that determined and evaluated the risks that may affect the project. Product risk assessment evaluates risks associated with product performance and user safety. Process risk assessment. Now that we know what we are building, we must define how to construct our product and assess risks associated with the product realization process. The next is the NPI plan. The design group may also be accountable for leading the development of a detailed plan for product introduction. The last part of the design documentation section is housekeeping. We need to collect, organize, and file the lab notebooks, design review records, action lists, lessons learned, and any other evidence of the design process. We have completed our NPI design documentation review for the checklist. The following videos will discuss other areas we need to document for our new product introduction process. We will continue with the documentation for the production stage. Let's summarize our discussion today. Document your NPI process with a checklist. Conduct and document relevant risk assessments. Determine if design verification and validation are practical. Ensure that design historical documents are collected and filed. As always, feel free to check our free downloads. Visit our website's Academy page to see how our templates can simplify your management system. If you like this video, please subscribe, share, like, and comment. Your support helps us promote our Lean QMS project.